to John G TV. Oh, hey man. So basically, what I want to talk about is obviously the circuit mono station. That's what's hot for me right now. Here's what I want to say, man, about the mono circuit. Like I was saying before, I'm gonna just go into a little dissertation because the thing that I'm kind of tripping on is before I said, why is it such a lukewarm response, right? And so I've been playing around with it, and I realized, sonically, it's a little bit of a letdown. Like I feel, you know, like it's a little bit of a letdown. Not as bad as the snare on the vocal kick, and not as bad as um, actually. Actually, I take that back. The decay, yeah, I think the sound of this is right there. Before I said it was hands down, but now I feel a little different because what I just found, this sound right here, actually, what you just heard, that right there, and keep in mind that's analog heat. So here is the dry signal. It's just straight mono circuit out of the box. Basically, what I tried to do is just to see just how nasty I can get it. Just to see the nastiest characteristics that I can find. And this seems to be the richest one, and it really, besides from a little nuances here and there, like that's, it seems to be about as gritty as it gets. Like it's a certain type of sound, and if I can put it into words, it seems soft, if that makes sense. Because even with the heat on it, it's still coming off like a little soft. But anyways, um, back to the comparison. I don't think it's. At first, I said it was worse than. I hated it. I hate the sound worse than the decay on the drum boot. But actually, I think I feel a little different. It's not that bad. Like what I just found right there. I'm actually liking that sound. That sounds pretty good. Um, However, overall though, yeah, I just feel like the analog. However they did it, it's coming off. It sounds soft and powdery, like muffled a little bit, if that makes sense. Like it don't have that metal sound that the um, microbrew has. It doesn't have none of the cleanness of the Terrazin. It doesn't have the um, nowhere near the butteriness of the base station, and it doesn't have the harshness of the monologue. I mean, it's nowhere near none of those. And so, as far as the analog side of the game, uh, yeah, yeah. As far as that, I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of really not feeling it. But in terms of modulation, I think that's really where it shines. It has the sequencer, which actually goes back and forth. You got all these different type of ways you can move the sequencer, and you got these modulation matrix that is pretty nice. So in terms of tweaking, I think that's where it shines at. So way more than actual sonics. I think the sonics is where it hurts. And so if people are going off of that, then I can see why the sales maybe aren't where they are. It definitely seems to be why the the videos on it seems to be kind of low, and even with the circuit. Now the circuit is, I don't know, maybe people got it at first and just felt some kind of way about it and they didn't like it, but over time, I mean, it has really changed and become, let me turn this joint on. It has really over time. I got the batteries in right now, but over time it has changed. But playing samples and whatnot, and so I think it's like one of those clubs. Like it's a niche product, and same thing with the mono station. Basically, it's gonna be niche, however you say that word. It's gonna be a niche product, so a lot of people won't have it. It's not completely crap, but in comparison, like if you have some high end analog, you're not gonna want this. I mean, it doesn't sound better than any of the Vocas. All the Vocas sound better than this. I mean, So it's yeah, but in terms of the modulation, that is definitely where it shines heavy. So um, throw some distortion on it. I mean that don't. I mean, that's definitely cool sounding. I guess I'm just man. My ears are spoiled. I've been exposed. Like I've heard and I know what coming off man the Terrazin man. God dog, Dave Smith. Woo, that's a tough act to follow, boy. Ooh, that's not fair. I should have. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I just grabbed them kind of. I don't know what order I did. It just kind of happened that way. But man, that's tough. However, um, yeah, I mean the mono station. Definitely, I'm liking the modulation. The sound is where I think it's definitely its weakest point, unfortunately. Um, however, yeah, I can see it. I wouldn't necessarily say I can't see this being your first piece. This definitely would be an add-on. This is definitely for somebody that has to. I would think you would have to have already have something else. I don't know. I just but then again, if you don't know no better, that's one way of looking at it. If you don't know no better, you don't know. You don't really. If you knew, you don't have an idea. This is definitely going to be fun for some people, especially if you are one who. Can we get the? Can we find a spot? Or hold on, here we go. Let's get up in there. There we go. Bam. So, it might be an opportunity. Um, Testing, testing, one, two, three. I know y'all can hear me. Can you see me? Can you see me? Okay. Oh, there you go. All right. It might be an opportunity for oh my God, I was gonna say, doggone it. What was I? I lost my train of thought. Thinking about the damn camera. I mean, thinking about the damn mirror. I done lost my train of thought. Sonics. Anyways, um, yeah, so I still had a lot to learn in terms of programming it. I'm nowhere near. That's always going to be the uphill battle because it's always little what I call studio tricks when it comes to programming that you will figure out over time and stuff like that. But in terms of the Sonics, yeah, it's decent, but I feel like this can be a centerpiece in terms of having this as your centerpiece with hooking up with CV, so you have your modular set. Um, and I'm real interested just in knowing what Novation is going to do, or what can they do in terms of updating this. I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything at all. This might be what it is, unless, like I said before, they hook up some kind of software uh, thing that they make you know, that will then add some extra features to it or something. But I don't think they're gonna be able to do anything in how they did with the original circuit. Um, but yeah, I'm going to actually at some point come up with some nice loop patches and patterns and see what we can do. Find some grooves so I can break down some more things about it. And I'm looking to move on. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know. It's feeling a little meh, especially off of coming from Dave Smith. So, but anyways, this is John G on John G TV, chiming in with my little dissertation, ranting, raving about the Sonics. Now, mind you, that don't sound like crap now. Oh, okay. I'm actually, I don't know if y'all can hear that on the mic, but what's happening is I got it hooked up through MIDI, and I'm actually hearing, the synth from. Now it definitely sounds better than the original circuit. You can hear the circuit has a. I like that circuit sound though. Hearing these sounds like this side by side at the same time, like I'm just doing right now, it, I almost it almost makes me under. That's what I was gonna say. It makes me understand. It makes me understand Novation. Actually, it actually makes sense now because this sounds like an analog version of that. Like, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, I don't know if y'all get what I'm saying, but it really sounds like I get it. All right, I get it. It makes sense. So this is like the Novation characteristic. Like, this is their tone. This is their tonality. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I get it. All right, so now it makes sense. Okay. Um, with that being said, because earlier what I had forgot now that I remember, what I was gonna lead to was because of the sonics of this, it's kind of got me on the fence. Or actually, it kind of put me in a spot where I was like, I don't want to get the Novation Peak now. At least not right now. Not at least not right away. See, here's the thing. All right, bring the camera back. Um, here's the thing. See, because at that price point, you got two things competing. You got Peak, and then you have the Novation Rev 2. I mean, Dave Smith Rev 2 at the same price. 8 voice, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Peak, I think, is 12. I think no, Peak might be 8 too. I'm not certain if they're equal on that. I feel like Peak might be more in polyphony. And I believe the Rev 2 is 8, but they're both the same price. Well, playing with this mono station, I said, all right, I'm not getting the Peak. I'll just go because I know Dave Smith. I believe that's gonna be dope. So sonically anyway. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just go there. I'd rather go there next one day versus going with the Peak. Um, but now playing these two aside, like I get it. It actually makes sense now. It's Novation's analog. I get it. This is Novation. So if you don't, this is a nice. I mean, in comparison to other synth, I don't think. So it depends on what you're looking for. Who are you? What kind of music you're making, and what do you need? So this could very well fulfill a need. I know the circuit has served me quite well on some tracks that I was working on as a nice fill-in piece. Now the mono station, like I said, I because I was coming off Dave Smith, I'm like, oh man, that's a tough act to follow, really. Um, but now, just now, I get it. It makes sense. So this is Novation's tonality. So if it's one of those things where if you like that sound, then this is something that then both the circuit and the mono station you must have. And everybody that has both of them, um, I feel like I understand if you sell it, like if you get them and then sell it back, I get it. But for those that have it, I mean, it's especially with the original circuit. I just feel like this is a cult classic. It has morphed over time, and it's inspiration heaven. So I don't feel like that's just something that either is one of those things where if you know about it, you know about it. If you don't, you don't. And but it is hot, especially for giving you just some inspiration. Mono Station might you might see me later on down the line eating all these words. You might hear me praising it. Right now I'm like, and it sounding kind of iffy or whatever, but I might be praising it in the future, and that might be the case if my reality changes. But right now, this is how I feel. So yeah. It's not really a review, but I guess it's just a sonic review of sorts. It's definitely my dissertation on the sonics of this. Like I tried to really dig in this thing and find, where is that dirt and grit at, and that was just about as nasty as it can get. And so, it's you know like a soft tough guy, I guess. Anyway, John G TV Circuit Mono Station.